Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome back to another riveting episode of Another Pod. Do not relent. Back from a day of cat chaos, I'm Slud Whistle.
Yeah, it sure has been cat chaos. It's your boy, Immunization.
If you wondered where Khadgar was during the entirety of BFA, it was getting hair stuck in his GI tract. It's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag.
Yeah, you know how in Draenor, I believe it was, he was asking you to collect Apexis crystals? Apparently since then, he's been collecting his own hair, consuming it, and accumulating it in his GI tract.
I like, you did open up with the fact that it was a cat conundrum, so listeners can probably piece it together. But I like the person who isn't steeped in DNR lore, who's like, Khadgar the man's been eating hair? Who do you need to get rep with to unlock this storyline?
Maybe I said Cad conundrum. Who knows? But yeah, we named our cat Khadgar, and let me tell you, going to the vet with a cat named Khadgar is so fucking hard because they're always like, you named your, or they're like, okay, it's Khadgar, and they're like, Catgar? And I'm like, no, not Catgar. It's let me spell it out for you. And then, so like, one lady was like, oh my god, is that name Arabic? It's beautiful. And I'm like, it's a wizard. It's a wizard in a video game.
That's like, and it's not the same because some people do get it, people who are well-read. But taking our cat Persephone anywhere is fun because people will be like, Persephone. And I was like, no, I mean, you did sound spelling. That is the word phone, but it's Persephone. And then, yeah, you have to be like, oh my God, where is that? It sounds so foreign. And it's like,
Persephone? What, think you fucking Dr. Seuss characters running around here?
like, what would the conversation be if it was like, yes, this is my cat Persephone? And it's like, oh shit, we actually don't want to take care of it anymore. That's too loopy.
But yeah, we've been up to these fucking bizarre ass times right now. Like, we took our cat to the vet at like 1 a.m. We were there until like 3:30 in the morning. I had to call off work so we could take him to the vet, like, because he had to have surgery. It's just been nuts. I've been napping on and off like a weird like vampire, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm really living up to my moniker of Immunization the Vampire because I've been sleeping in like 2-hour increments on and off all day. Also, I've been hanging upside down from the ceiling.
Also, whenever we go to the vet, I do turn into a bat and or some mist. People don't remember the mist. He could do that too.
You know, it was weird. So when we were at the vet, they have like these vending machines, you know, because they know people are going to be there for a while. And tell me why I ate the best packaged meat sticks I've ever had out of any brand anywhere in the world out of this vending machine. These two little salami sticks that were like wrapped like Slim Jims tasted so good. And I don't know if because I was desperate or if they were good, but shout out to that vending machine because those are bomb ass meat sticks.
I just had a Twix.
We did also eat flaming hot Cheetos in the veterinarian's room. Just chomping on snacks.
Just getting your fingers all dusty and orange as your cat shits its brains out.
Thank God. We thought it was. I thought it was gonna be like a disease of some. They're like, it has something wrong with his liver. His liver's inflamed, and then no, they're just like he's got a lot of hair in his fucking butthole, and it's causing the organs around it to be angry because it's a big blockage. And I'm like, come on.
So, not to be nasty, but Cubby Bub and I were discussing. So Khadgar had to undergo surgery. Do we know how they got that out? Do you just kind of fish it out, or
no? They cut him open.
Yeah,
like
they had to do
from
an
the top or
incision
from the bottom.
His abdomen, I believe. They said it was like a small incision there that they were able to like go in and like get it from there.
Wow,
scary because like they had to put him under for that. And my last cat actually died because he didn't recover from anesthesia. So I was like, oh boy, I don't want to live this again. But it was funny because they showed us an X-ray and he was like, yeah, so here's his colon, here's all his poop inside, but this is normal. And I'm looking at it, and this man was pointing. It was so much shit. You can see each individual nugget of poop, and I'm like, this is like 12 to 14 turds. Like, is that normal? And then turns out 4 hours later, it's not normal.
Yeah, I mean, and, like, Khadgar is a trash cat, so we assumed, and we were, like, upset that, like, we had left something out and, like, he ate it. But no, it's just apparently if you have a long hair cat, this is a not uncommon thing that can happen. So if you have a long hair cat, make sure you brush them a lot.
Just took 8 years for something to happen. You know, this never happened to Medivh, you know? He never had to go to the hospital to have hair removed from his butthole.
He went crazy, but he dealt with it on his own. When he had a lot of hair in his butthole, he just sat in one of his many, many rooms in his twisting tower and shit it out.
Wait, has your cat ever had like a hair plug in their butt? Because Illyria has had that twice now that I've had to pull out.
No, the worst thing that happened was she did have a loose hair from something she ate that poked out the butt, and we did have to secure her as one person, like, unraveled it, and that was not very fun. She was in a lot of distress, as were we.
Poor Persephone.
Poor Persephone. You know who else is poor?
Who?
Our raiding team. Just kidding. They're trying really hard.
So yeah, we are still just smashing our head against Razagath. I feel like this is par for the course for our team of taking a little bit of our extra time to make sure that we fully enjoy our end boss on Heroic.
You know, yeah, part of our problems, I think, were we changed the group size just a wee bit from our usual prog. I think we had, maybe 4 to 5 more people than we had the previous couple of weeks, I think-ish? Is that like the rough estimate of the number of people, you think?
Yeah. Of people returning, plus we got 2 new evokers in the guild who raided with Team 1 and then immediately jumped to raid with us.
I think they're technically still raiding with both, if you can believe that. That's just like a lot of raiding.
Hey, I can believe it. Yeah, so our old GM, Bear Force 1, he's like, according to Brio, here's a quote. Bear said, I'm starting a cult with people that he's recruiting. And I was like, what does that mean? And Brio said, I have no idea. And I'm like, is he trying to take back the guild with his cult? Because I'm like, if he is, bitch, we got a bigger one inside and we'll beat you, Bear. But yeah, he's been getting people recruited for like their raid, and I was like, oh no, because I don't know. Sometimes Catta's raid is weird. She makes them pay money whenever they release. I think I said this before on the podcast, but she makes them pay money to the guild bank when they release. And if I was a new person joining a guild and I released in a group, and my new raid lead was like, all right, in this group, we pay our money to the guild bank when we release early as punishment for wasting our time, I'd be like, get me out of here.
This is a load of barnacles.
Yeah, that is a little odd. I also would be turned off by that.
But yeah, so like, I don't know, it's been weird, because like, I think are we 6 healing Razagath now? Because is that the number?
Yeah, 6 of them on an ideal night where everyone's there.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have a feeling we won't get it next week. Maybe another, in 2 weeks? I don't know. I'm just trying to not be too optimistic and be disappointed. I'm also so fucking burnt out on Razagath. On my hunter alone, I've just now almost approached, I believe 115 wipes. And I don't know. That's not including my priest. And Slide on his evoker, which he's been raiding with, Dogs with Jobs, back when we did that, and Unomas, you're only 10 or some pulls above my hunter, right?
Well, I think I'm at 134. Maybe I'm in the 140s by the end of the night now, but yeah. So I can't imagine what yours are combined. You should get those numbers and figure that out, because that's probably 200 maybe?
It's way too much.
I'll have you know that Uno Masters, who are strictly Uno Masters, are experiencing their cool 69th failure.
Oh, okay. So honestly, we're pretty still on par for a Razagath kill, I feel like that.
I don't know. I think we will get closer and closer each week, but I don't know. They're doing a lot of... Actually, I was about to say they're doing a lot of buzz of future patches, but they're not talking about 10.1. They're just talking about 10.0.5 and 10.0.7. So I would have to imagine there's a big stinky nerf coming at some point, and I feel like Razagath might be in killable range when that lands.
Yeah, and I believe Aaron, you were the one who brought it up during raid. Our infamous what raid was it where we killed it and got AOTC literally?
Crucible of Storms. And I
Yeah.
don't know if we had like 100 pulls on that, but we literally killed it on like Tuesday, and 6 days later, it was no longer current.
I was gonna say, is there a way that DBN like can show me like all of my boss wipes total across all characters, or will I have to log on to the character that I was there for to see?
Who would you have even been? Deoxyribose?
Deoxyribose,
the
I
mage?
believe. Yeah, I was maging. I think then. I just want to see like I'm interested to see like which one of our pulls took the most. I mean, Sylvanas and Anduin are probably like number one, right? But like, who's like coming in?
Oh god,
behind
I
them?
don't even fucking Sepulchre of the first ones was so rude. I think about the fact that Zoval took us like 200 pulls, and don't even remember the fact that Anduin took us like 400 pulls.
Yeah, like I don't know, but like Lid was like, what did he say? He said, we've never pulled a boss once and left, and then you were like Unat. I was so quickly like you were thinking about Unat.
Because if it's on the front of my brain so often, like yeah, literally. We snuck in. We were in private messages like, do we pay 200K to someone? Which that was like big money at the time just to get AOTC. And yeah, we barely managed to squeak it out. And those were the days where I would be like, well, some weeks I don't show up. I am very glad. Although at the same time, I don't know if I super care. Like, I want to get AOTC. Have I ever flashed my AOTC at anyone? No. Especially not Crucible.
Yeah, you know, that's something we should start doing. Just start posting your Crucible of the Storm achievements in chat, because who the fuck has that? Like, it has to be the lowest, probably the lowest AOTC achieved, right? It's gotta be.
Yeah, the weird 2 boss dungeon, in air quotes, the worst expansion in WoW.
Crazy. But yeah, I think the estimate of 2 weeks is probably about where I would put us killing Razagath. I don't think we're getting it next week. I think we have to get our new bodies used to everything and what we're doing and gel, and we'll see what happens. I think we may lose people. I think people are going to be frustrated, and people may just like stop showing up for a little bit until like we have it like down.
Yeah.
'Cause that happened before.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are getting tired of just the training. So
Me.
well, yeah. I don't know. I am both very invested and also do not care. I will just sit there listening to my butt rock until we get it.
I mean, I feel like the three of us are just like, if our guild is raiding, we will be there. Like, you're right. Like, I mean, I do want it. Because like I want a chance at this fucking bow, which we'll talk more about later. But yeah, I'm just here for, I don't know, to help our guild try to get OTC at this point.
According to Wowhead right now, ahead of the curve, Razagath the Storm Eater currently has been attained by 10% of profiles. So I'm curious how that compares to like, okay, the Jailer. How much do you think the Jailer has? How many people have the Jailer AOTC?
I remember when they beefed the Jailer for season 4, it was even less than that. I want to say it was like 5%.
So we're currently at 14% of all players have it. And like that's done for, obviously. You know, you can't get that anymore. So does this mean 10.0.7 is coming? Or is Razagath just fucking hard as shit?
I do think it's coming soon. Before, all we knew about it is that the roadmap said spring 2023. As of earlier today, Blizzard released this weird like Blue Post blog thing, which is like, it basically feels like a 10.0.7 patch notes unofficial, because like they aren't labeling as that. It just is listing all the things that they're highlighting in 10.0.7.
29% of profiles have ahead of the curve is off. Is that surprising to you guys? That's surprising to me. It's a big number.
Yeah, I remember it kicking our ass, but at the same time, I remember the fact that, what would that have been, 8.3? 8.3 went on for a very long time. Like, a solid quarter of the show was during 8.3.
That's true. So like a lot of people were just probably coming back when it's off, and it was open for a while. Huh.
Yeah, and like Uno Mas is very, very, very not skilled. But I distinctly remember for like 5 months we didn't even do raid because we were so tired of beating N'Zoth.
Oh my god. Okay, so knowing all those numbers I told you guys, Unat. What do you think Unat's attained by percentages. What's the number?
2.
I'll say 5%. Also because like this was the small raid, right? So like I don't know.
6% of profiles have Una. Flash that fucking achievement, boys. We were a rare breed.
I'll put it right next to some of my weird Ember Court ones, like being friends with everyone. Something like 7% of people have that.
You know, if ever in the future there's player housing, one of the things that they should do is make feat of strength achievements like little trophies or like wall hangings that you could put on your wall, and then like when people like hover over it, it says like ahead of the curve, Unat, Crucible of the Storms.
I would want like a huge statue like in WoD, but yeah, it's just a picture of Una and it's like he actually did it. He beat this stupid dude.
Make it like Animal Crossing, like when you make one of the villagers your best friends and they give you a picture. It's just like your picture of Una on your bedside table.
Speaking of pictures at our bedside table, it's time to announce DNR's latest contest, PEPE-PALOOZA!
Palooza.
Right after we finished recording last week, basically, they announced that Pepe's 10th birthday was coming up. And it dropped with a t-shirt and some Pepe plushes on sale. And I was thinking like 10 years of Pepe, like, we have been with him almost basically since the beginning of our WoW careers. Obviously, he predates us by like a little bit, right? But so I was like, let's do a fucking Pepe giveaway. Like, why the fuck not?
Yeah, so y'all heard it here. DNR's doing PEPE-PALOOZA, where if you so choose, you can be eligible to win either the Pepe of your choosing or if you want the Pepe 10-year anniversary t-shirt in whatever size you want.
Yes. They fucking released the cutest t-shirt. It's Pepe blown up. He's wearing a little party hat and there's confetti flowing around him. It's so cute. I already bought one for myself, so I'm the first contest winner.
No, Sidewhistle just bought it for himself. So we will be choosing, I think we decided 3 winners for this contest, and those 3 winners can choose any of the Pepes, like the plushes on the shop. I believe currently the ones that are there are just Revendreth, Night Fae, which is the new one, and Necrolord, from the Shadowlands ones. I don't think that they ever made a Bastion one, and oddly enough, the original OG Pepe is not currently on the Blizzard store.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is a choice, right? Because, okay, so I posted the promotional image in the host chat, and it's like, celebrate Pepe's birthday, and then they have 10 years, and they have 4 Pepes showing, but then they use the Meldrax's Pepe twice. Why didn't they just reproduce more of the original Pepes?
Well, I mean, the Meldraxus one I think is the coolest, most unique looking one, but yeah, you're right. You really think that they would make like our OG ones part of this deal. Anyways, guys, how are our DNRmy members going to win these cool prizes?
Well,
you know what? Yeah, send us the money for it and we'll buy it and send it to you. No. We want you to take your best, your most aesthetically pleasing, your most radical badass picture with Pepe. I mean, you're asking me, Aaron. I wasn't up to date on WoD. I don't own PP. Well, then pick a different bird. We just want you to take a badass picture with your favorite bird in the World of Warcraft.
Yeah, so if you have the transdimensional bird whistle from doing the WoD achievement, then I recommend doing that, or any other version of Pepe. Honestly, if you don't have it, I would just do it. It's a fun quest, it's cool to do. Bird in your head is awesome, but birds of a feather flock together, so any bird Pepe loves. So just take a picture of the bird, basically, and send it to us in any way. You can do it on Twitter, you can do it in the Discord, at DNRmy.com. You can send us an email at tavaracoffin@gmail.com, or you can even send it to do not relent pod@gmail.com. Yeah, that's.
I like that you offered your goofball meme email before the companies.
Goofball
Company?
We are a company. I was talking to Cubby Bub about it. I was like, we have a company credit card. We have a company listing. DNR has gone business.
We're gonna have to ask my mom to file our taxes or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we are. We are gonna have his mom file our taxes just in case we have to do something crazy with it.
Because we are technically like an LLC, I think.
crazy. But yeah, anyway, enter the Pepe contest. I have no idea how long they're going to keep the Pepe stuff up in the store. So if things change, obviously we'll figure out a better, a suitable replacement prize. So you guys are going to have 2 weeks to get this in. Mostly because we don't know when this promotion is going to end. Apparently the Pepe shirts, they're printed to order and requires extended production time, it says. So we're going to try to shorten this one just to make sure if you win and you want a shirt, you get a shirt.
Yes, so get in your Pepe screenshots. Oh, I'll make a channel on our Discord at donotrelenT.com. So if you want to submit that way, you can put it in that thread there, like we normally do with our contests on there. But yes, get in your pictures on or before the 16th, because we will be recording on the 16th, so we want to pick our winners and announce it for that episode.
Don't be shy if you only want to join the Discord to win a prize. Many people have done it before, so you can come in, you can get your shit, you can leave. We don't care. It's okay.
You will not be the first, and trust us, you will not be the last. But hey, as we're going to give you 2 weeks to hang around, maybe you'll see something you like.
Also, as Slide Whistle said, you don't need to join the Discord. Any of those other methods are perfectly fine for sending in your submission as well.
Yes, but sometimes you want to see what your competition is before you submit a picture, huh? You know what I mean? But yeah, PEPE-PALOOZA!
PEPE-PALOOZA!
This just reminds me, I need to use my transdimensional Pepe whistle more. I've been hunting all of these. Wait, are there Dragonflight Pepe appearances? No one's talked about that.
Not that I have heard of. I feel like people would flex them more if there were.
Oh, well, there's not, I don't think, but there are duck on head ones, right?
There's what? Who? What?
I believe there's toy ducks you can put on your head that I could make as a tailor.
Oh,
that
so you're
is
saying
true,
that they're
you
fucking
can.
replacing Pepe?
No, I would never replace Pepe, especially not during PEPE-PALOOZA!
PEPE-PALOOZA!
Pepino-Palooza. Pizza Tower is so good. Ugh.
I like that literal children are discovering that his scream is on stock sound effect websites, and they're like, "Oh my god, they knew!" I'm like, "How Gen Z of you!"
It's the most used video game screams.
Yeah, it's recorded in the literal 1940s, and they're like, "Oh my god, how'd they know?"
Oh, Pepe-Palooza. Oh, also, if you didn't know, they added Pepe to the Blizzard avatar lists, so you can have him as your avatar now for his birthday. I already did that, so he's my avatar.
He's my avatar too, Way of Water.
Have you seen that? Are you gonna see that?
No, I don't plan to. I didn't like Avatar 1, and I mean, that's a story for another time. It's weird that it made $80 bazillion and also literally no one talked about it other than being I'm going to go see Avatar 2. And then not one person has been like, it was great or it was bad. It was just
we've got to be in a bubble
Avatar
or something where we just don't have those circles that overlap with us. There's got to be some people that have only Avatar discussions, right? That has to be.
I think Tyre saw Avatar 2. If he's listening to this, Tyre, what's going on with Avatar 2?
And was Pepe in it? Yes or no?
Well, the other day I was raiding and I got the bow and I was like, it's sure. I love this thing. I hope it doesn't change at all.
Wow. Okay, so the thing is, Slide Whistle has brought up a hunter who is mainly is just survival hunter right now, and he always
talking about my boy Ackles.
Yeah, Achilles, yes. And he's been opening his vault in BM just to spite me. Just so that he can say that he will get it there before I ever get it, which he probably will.
Well, hang on. If that's just to spite you, I also just want it because I do Beast Mastery, okay? I don't know where I'm... Well, I love Beast Mastery as a spec. I like having my rare pets, exotic pets. But yes, I have been opening it in Beast Mastery as Achilles. But also, I think it's funny. So, I feel like I've never heard my character's name said out loud so many times in reference to, one of my alts. Normally I get Wild Seed or Slide Whistle or whatever. But whenever I rated lots of jobs, they also have to always say Achilles. And then Javunky and Sully have been saying Achilles. Aaron says Ackles. What is it about the Achilles name that makes people just gotta say it funny? Because it does look like a chili.
I will fully say it is literally just because you said people mispronounce it that I was like, let me put a big spin on this guy. It's got to be Ackles.
I mean, like, maybe it's like a Persephone thing.
I would say
like, I
it's
don't know.
it's a Persephone. Greek pronunciation. It's just out the window. People don't do it anymore, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the bow either. And you know what? I've been waiting way too long for this bow. I'm hoping I get it by the 4th week. I hear that's when you get a bow drop. So that'll be next week. So I'll probably have it by then.
Yeah, so Slide Whistle saw one conversation with this newly Ding 70 hunter asking trade chat in Veldraken, like, oh, hey, this bow looks good. Like, how long did it take you guys to get them? And all these hunters respond, well, like, one's like, oh, it took me about 4 weeks. It's not that bad. And I'm like, excuse me? 4 weeks. First off, 4 weeks is a long time if you are actually, like, actively trying to farm it in every way possible. And also, like, it's been way longer than that for a lot of us so far that, like, just have not been able to get it.
When are they going to increase the drop rate? That's my question.
At this point, it is legitimately the only one on the loot table in this raid that deserves the very rare thing, I believe.
So, do we think they will increase the drop rate, or do we think they'll just make it worse? They are, in fact, making it worse, correct?
They will not increase the drop rate. They actively are nerfing it. So I will read right now, like, what they're doing to change it. Basically, what it was is that for BM hunters in particular, it was increasing the attack speed of the pets as well. And BM hunters have lots of pets, so it was like bonkers DPS increase for a BM hunter, but that was apparently not their intended thing. So they were changing it in 10.0.7 from its effect being auto attacking an enemy grants 6% attack speed, stacking up to 5 times. This resets upon auto attacking a different target, and it's changing from that to auto attacking an enemy grants 10% increased auto attack damage, stacking 5 times. Resets upon different target. So it's only affecting auto attacks of the hunter character now, not the pets.
So, I mean, hey, you're getting buffed. We talked about that before, but I mean, it's fucking still crazy. Like, I don't know. I feel like they really dropped the ball on this a lot.
Also, I don't think that we talked about these buffs because I don't think these buffs were like even in conversation when we were talking last week. So like,
Wait, really?
Yeah, really. So like to counteract this huge bow nerf, they are buffing all of the hunters, but I feel like BM is getting the biggest buff just because this bow was effectively mandatory if you were like wanting to be like a top level BM hunter in any way. So to compensate for this, kill command, stomp, serpent sting, barb shot are all increased by 25% damage flat, and cobra shot 50%, death chakram 100% increased damage.
Jesus.
So that's like almost the entirety of the BM rotation there.
I mean, when's survival getting buffs?
Well, you guys use Serpent Sting, right?
Yeah, we do, I guess.
You're right, though. It's like survival needs attention of some kind. But basically what this boils down to, that if you have the bow for BM Hunter, you get an 8% increase in your damage, single target damage, and a 6.5 increase in AoE damage. But if you don't have the bow like me, it'll equate to a 16.5% DPS increase single target and a 15.5% AoE.
Those numbers are so stupid. Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's because the bow itself of any kind was like legitimately like anywhere, if it, like an LFR bow, maybe like a 6% DPS increase over my like max level bow. So yeah, basically they nerfed the bow so much, but then had to literally increase the BM abilities by anywhere from like 25 to 100% damage to account for that. That's like stupid. Like they fucked up so bad with this bow, and I am both happy that I'll be getting buffs, but mad because I know I won't even fucking get the bow between now and whenever this all goes live.
When we kill Heroic Razagat as our guild group, it will drop. I feel it. I feel it in my... However, that obviously is not going to be 2 more weeks, and then the next patch will drop like either that same week or right after that.
Yeah, like a week afterwards, maybe.
You're going to get unotted on this bow.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, even after the nerfs, the bow will still be best in slot. It just won't be, like, mandatory.
So basically, you're gonna... I mean, you already do crazy damage, too. You top some fights on your hunter against, like, some people that are doing crazy shit. So, these buffs are gonna make you ridiculous, right?
Yeah, wait until you see me on my bike. No, just kidding. With my 16.5% DPS increase on Razagath, baby.
Oh my god! Did you see that there's another One Punch Man skin, and it's for Tornado Lady, and Kiriko's so good.
Yes. It's for the little girl, and I was like, you know what? I was like, Kiriko's getting a lot of skins, but I was like, when it comes to like literal little girl children, that does make sense.
And like, I didn't know that they were.
I just don't like how sexualized that particular character is, just because it looks like a little person. I'm like, oh man, it makes me frown when I see
That's
it.
anime. I'm just hoping we get a Sonic skin for Genji. And can we get like a fucking like Geno skin for Roadhog? Like, yeah, there's a lot of people that could have a robot arm.
Well,
if we get the Roadhog, it'd be
well, I hate to say it, but Geno would probably go on Sojourn.
Oh, give it to Roadhog. It'd be funny.
Well, yeah, that'd be funny.
Oh, they can give Lobster Man to Roadhog.
They could give Tiger King or whatever the tiger guy to Junker Queen. I feel like that's a match.
Amin, do you have a joke here?
I'm just eagerly awaiting, now that crossovers are on the table, when the fuck is Reinhardt getting his Patty Mayonnaise skin?
Okay, yeah. Let's give him a Patty Mayonnaise, a big old skirt, a little flower sweater.
When is Hammond getting his Patty Mayonnaise's dad skin?
Oh. Imagine a Roadhog Mr. Dink. That would be great. He hugs you, hello, neighbor.
Oh, like when he pulls them in, that's what he says.
As he puts the scrap in his thing, he goes, "My grill! My grill!"
Douglas funny.
You broke my grill!
I should rewatch Doug. Doug is timeless. I didn't appreciate it when it was on TV when I was a kid. I was like, I don't like Doug. And then, like, slowly I came around to Doug, and now that it's gone, I miss Mr. Funny.
Someone told me that Doug has, quote, big incel energy, and I was like, I mean, probably, yeah, but, like, everyone else around Doug was very funny, so, like, I'm willing to deal with that.
Yeah, that's like every main character. Like, the main character is always the worst of, like, a Nickelodeon show, and everyone likes everybody else. You know what I mean?
I mean, he was just awkward, but, like, he had friends, so, like, he's not an incel.
I would guess, yeah, I was going to say he had friends, but he had friends.
Pork
Patty
chop.
Mayonnaise was his friend.
All right, wait. Speaking of pork chop, what's Ground the Prowl up to these days?
Probably eating a pork chop. Well, come on down, boys and ghouls. It's Growl on the Prowl. Here today with my fancy little friend, Horgan. Horg, congratulations on your Chester outfit there. Oh, thank you, LOL. I really had to put a whole 2 hours of work into this thing, but my struggles will surely be worth it. I'm honestly kinda jealous. I've been blasting and writing articles so long that I've been neglecting my Trader's Tenders duties. Well, you gotta do what's important, that's for sure. I'm actually so jealous that I think I want to take your costume. Prove you're worthy of that clown suit. Tell me a joke, now. Oh, shit. Okay, so a man walks into a bar, right? Yes. Ouch, says the man. Damn it. You got me. That was a real rib tickler. Well, you get to keep your glory for today. But I'll be back. Similar to how we'll all be headed back to the second half of the show. Alec Baldwin ended Ned Bigby's career, and that's the news you needed to hear. Let's get on with part 2.
Bum 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 bum. We have our beautiful Trading Post fashion review for March. Let's go through all the items and judge them as we deem fit.
Yeah, so if you're a new listener to our fashion photo review, we will rank things as a toot if we like them, a boot if we do not like them, a moot if we can go either way or do not care about them, and one but only per event, each of us can give a shoot. meaning it is the best item on the table this month.
I posted the link to the Trading Post rewards in our host chat if you want to follow along. Hosts, not for you casual listeners. You can find it it's literally at like the regular Wildhead Trading Post stuff. So just scroll down, I guess. Our number one item on the list today, starting off with the big capstone of the month, Dark Moon Harlequin's Bells, a unique Dark Moon transmog set rewarded for completing 1,000 tendies in the Traveler's Log. I think I speak for most people in the world when I say this is a shoot.
I was going to say right off the bat, starting strong, I gotta give this my one and only shoot as well, because like I posted this on the Discord, join at donotRelent.com. This is probably one of the only sets that I've felt confidently look good on a Pandaren. My Hunter looks so stupid in it, and I love it.
This is a powerful look. Not ever have I seen something like this before. I must agree that this is a shoot, even though I don't have it yet, but I looked on Growlina. It does not look quite as amazing on Worgen ladies, but it's still it's a rocket to the moon.
Yeah, and like, you know what? We don't have a lot of high-res Dark Moon transmog to begin with. Like, we have like the tabard, and there's some like cloaks with an eyeball on it. But this is dripping in N'Zoth eyeball goodness. There's bells hanging off the shoulders. The belt has a what's that mime's name from The Incredibles? Bon Voyage. Has Bon Voyage vibes with like a Dark Moon eye in the middle and little eye bombs, bells on the side. There's eyeball jinglies on the Iron Chic fun pointy elf shoes. So fucking great. The physics on like the headpiece, they move so fluidly. I've never seen a piece move like this before.
Also, I just want to say, like, the headpiece, I am fairly confident it scales exponentially with size of character. So that's why, like, on my Panda, this thing is fucking massive. Like, Jamonkey said it in Raid. Like, the headpiece on my Hunter is bigger than her Gnome's model, like, in its entirety.
And I can't tell if this is the thing that they fucked up with, like, other item scaling. Because, like, are they afraid to make other headpieces as big? Is that the problem? Why other items look weird on Pandas? Or do they scale too much?
I mean, most helmets I've seen on my Panda are weirdly large. That said, I do have a lady Panda, so they have different proportions. It might not look quite the same if Metalloid had a sex change.
I also feel like this set, like, if you don't want to wear, like, if you think that the head looks bad on, like, a Worgen, I think you could really mismatch a lot of these other pieces into other great serviceable transmogs. You have spooky white hands with, like, yellow nails, the shoes, like you can find mogs for each piece, like, by its own, too. So I think that's cool.
Also, all the dinglings on this glow like this purple spooky color.
All right, Chuck Berry with your dinglings.
Oh no, he peed in ladies' mouths.
Did he really? Is that true?
Chuck Berry, like Johnny B. Good.
He peed in people's mouths?
Yeah.
I haven't heard the pee part.
He peed,
Johnny
he
P.
farted
Good?
in people's mouths, and he was really into women peeing in general. That's why he had all those cameras in the toilets in his restaurant.
Oh, you know, we gotta play with My Dingling. That's a real song, folks. If you don't know, look it up. My Dingling by Chuck Berry. Moving on to the next item. The Ensemble. Fell Automaton Exoplate. I give us a boot. I do not care, and it costs too much tendies.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it wasn't for the tendy costs, I would say it's a soft toot, but I'm probably not going to end up buying or freezing this, honestly. So, a moot? I mean, I see why people would like it. I just don't really care that much.
Yeah, I was going to moot it because it's plate, and I only have the one plate character. But Slide Whistle does raise a good point. 850, that's almost a mount. That is too much for just, like, the Legion pre-patch armor. This is a boot for me.
I don't really understand the cost. So, like, I get that it's a tier set. It's a recolor of tier 17, which is a Draenor set. I don't remember if that's like the last raid or if that's the first raid. I don't remember which raid it is. So maybe because they're like, oh, it's a tier set recolor, we'll add a little price to it so the people who own the tier set don't feel as robbed. But I don't think anyone's gonna care about this ugly looking plate set for $850. If you do, I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Yeah, okay, but on to our next one here. For 750 tendies, we have the Trusty Treasure Trove. I'm going to give this a toot just because I don't know of anything quite like it. It's a giant treasure chest on your back that's like partially open and some treasures are like leaking out of it. I think it looks cool.
This is definitely a toot for me. I have not seen this thing in any other form. It's a purely new model, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's real cool. As of yet, it is the only thing I purchased for this March set.
I have two. So I default. I think I would give it a toot at first, but then when I put it on, I kind of put it in moot territory because I also bought this. I guess I did turn my graphics down because in Raid, shit freezes all the time with particles, and it like if your Raid ever freezes, it's not you, it's the fucking game. And so I turn my particles down, and so my chest, I'm like, I can't tell if the chest looks a little worse. Like the light coming out of it can look a little weird from certain angles if you zoom in, and the gold looks a little cheap. Like looks like a very obviously like a paper pattern put over it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Something about it looks weird up close. So I'm gonna kind of give it a moot, even though I bought it.
I mean, that's fair enough. I have not bought it yet. I actually don't think I've bought anything quite yet this time. I did just grind out my attendees and the monthly to get the Harlequin set, though, because a few of us made a dedication to have it ready for a raid.
A few of us. What happened, Aaron? What happened to your clown suit?
I was working all day. I had stuff to do.
That's fair. Moving on to the next item. The glorious Dragon Riders male set, which is a recolor of the Dragon Rider Island set for male. It has the cool, like, tattoos, the dragon tattoos, and, like, the dragon set. I give it a toot. I give it a toot. The Dragon Rider set to own it is very expensive. The tattoo shirt, like the OG one, costs, like, I think, like, 150k gold to buy it.
So are we sure that the one in the shop here has the tattoos? Or is it a bug right now?
It does not have the tattoos. Or at least it's a bug, maybe. Because when I looked at... And that's the thing is, on Growlina, maybe it doesn't. Because she is a wolf person. But there were no tattoos when she looked at it.
So I also bought this set as well as the back... As well as the treasure chest. So I own this set too. Because I'm in desperate need of male sets for my evoker, because I don't have anything on this guy. So the tattoo piece, when you put it on, when you transmog it, it shows as one of those broken red question marks, which confirms it for me that it is a bug, that it's not working. Because normally it would just show up as like how the item looks, and it's a red question mark, so it's definitely a bug.
Okay, and I just posted for you guys in host chat here too. This is what it's supposed to look like. This was Blizzard's preview of it. So yes, there are supposed to be tattoos on this. It just is bugged right now.
I'm going to have to say that this is a really cool toot for me. It's really neat. I don't know. I'm trying to think who would even wear this. Randleman, the shaman, or Papa Steen, the hunter. Like, I don't have a premier character that is a mailer right now. But if I did, I would certainly be getting this for them.
I mean, like, my main is a male class on my hunter, so but I also assume it will look god awful on a Pandaren male. But it's a toot. I will be buying it probably. This will probably be my big purchase of the month here.
Next up is Frozen Shadow, which is a recolor of a Wrath era sword. And I'm just gonna say, this one is a moot for me. But only because I have the original sword, which is like a light crystalline blue. This one is a dark purple. Not so cute for me.
I'm giving this a boot. First of all, it costs too much. 400 tendies is a lot of tendies for a one weapon. Not to mention, I think I said this before, I both like and don't like when swords have this, like, middle chunk missing with an elemental piece in the middle, and then like crystal. Because if I'm hitting somebody with this, how sturdy is this? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like the physics of hitting people with it, will this hurt as much as a regular sword? I'm gonna give it a boot. I don't like the shape or the color or the missing middle piece of it.
I'm gonna give it a 2. I think it's kind of cool. I feel like it would look good on like some kind of death knight of some kind. I don't know.
Yeah, a shadow priest out there is duking their drawers over this thing like, finally, a weapon just as epic and edgy as me.
But like the thing is, I don't think shadow priests can use one-handed swords, can they?
That's true. No, it's forever eluding them.
Oh wow, that's mean.
But Aaron, you skipped over one of the items on this month's fashion review list.
I have
here.
not. I think we're looking at a different list.
Yeah, I think you're on a
here,
different list here because you also skipped the male dragon riding set earlier.
But like in particular, Aaron has passed over his brother here, the Pandaren monk.
Oh, I just realized. Are you looking at the list versus the pictures? For whatever reason, they organize them differently, and I don't get it.
I didn't scroll down enough to see that they literally have these pictures here. Huh? We could just be doing that. It's a lot easier actually.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. When you skip the dragon riding set, I was like, why did I skip the fucking dragon riding set for?
Yeah, I was like, is he mad at it? It's pretty neat.
Okay, let's go with the pictures. Scratch that. Keep going.
All right, next up we got filigreed lion's maw. It's a shield transmog, new model, which is a big plus to me. 250. Oh,
I don't play a shield class for my main, but I am literally going to log in tomorrow after editing and buy this thing for Booty ATW. This shit looks litty, and for 250, that's nothing. That is a toot for me.
Exactly. It's a toot for me just because new model, only 250 tendies. It's a steal, effectively. My only thing about it is I don't know if it looked like this for you guys, but like there's a an effect of like fire coming out of like the beast's mouth in the middle of the shield here.
Fire like leaking out, or does it shoot out like a spout like my weird bat shield I showed off the other day?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Slide. I don't know if you looked at it closely. It kind of just looked like, you know how like there are those enchants that are red that just kind of look like there's like a poop cloud coming off of them? Kind of like that?
it's more of a leak than a shoot, I would say.
I see.
I mean, but like regardless, I feel like it's still a great deal and it's a new item, so I'm still giving it a 2.
My only hang up with it is it says lion's maw. That's not a fucking lion. This is more like a bear cub. That's not a lion. That's not even a woman, like a female lion. The ears.
Oh, that's why I called it a beast, because like it's not, that shit's not a lion.
Yeah, I don't get the lion thing, but I guess they're going for like it's a lion's themed. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this up too. I don't even have a shield class. Let's see lax level, but I want this.
So up next we have the two-handed sword transmog, the Triumphant Blade Master's Great Sword, another sword. It's 225
and may I say,
do it.
May I say, I'm just gonna jump ahead and also include the shadowy Blade Master's Greatsword, which is the literal same thing, but the
darker,
the cloth around it. I guess the blade is darker and the cloth around it is purple versus red. Both of these are a boot to me. They seem neat enough, but I don't want to spend any amount, let alone the combined 450 to get these.
I'm gonna give these a toot, actually. I do agree that they're kind of like a basic bitch model, but they're like Samuro. They're like Samuro swords. The Blade Master stuff.
No, yeah, I think that's why they're called Blade Master. It's probably like a reference to that. I'm gonna give it a toot as well. My main thing is that like I don't have a two-handed sword class, but like if I did, I feel like I would get at least one of these, and I feel like there could be some good Mog options with these.
The Dread Admiral's Bicorn Pirate Hat, giving it a fucking 2. I don't care. This thing is beautiful. I also might buy this because I bought the Salty Buccaneer set from the last Trader Tendies, and I'm like, at this point I'm running out of tendies. Like I'm running out of tendies to spin on stuff.
They're drip feeding us pirate content, but I'll be there for every bit of it. I am tooting on this one as well.
Same. I will be buying this eventually. I saw a few gnomes post online though saying that this thing is bugged on them right now. Like for some reason in the gnome model, the like center part of the hat clips into their head. So I saw some pictures on Twitter. So I guess just double check that, listeners, if you are a gnome.
Gnomes, double check your heads. Moving on, we have the Vagabonds Midnight Threads. It's a black recolor of the pink set we got before. I'm going to still give this a 2. I like the idea of having a head and a cloak color that you want. You don't have to buy it if you don't like it. It fills a spot on the list. And it's just good to have like the extra color and the little tattered thing if, you're missing the transmog for it.
Yeah, and then similarly, the one after it is the trappings, which is like we have the same two like cloak and headpiece combos from last time that were pink, but now they're black. I'm also gonna give them a 2 just because I'm here for like hooded cloaks and scarves. Like, give us a bunch of colors for them. You could make some cool mugs with them.
I'm going to give it a moot. I like both of them, but I'm upset that they led with the pink one. And I thought that's all we were getting. So I did buy some ugly pink stuff. If I had known there was like a neutral color black one coming, I would have saved my tenders.
I would have done the same. I agree.
But it's so I have a middling reception of it, but it's still very good. It's floating in between moot and toot.
Okay, let's talk about this one. This next item on the list. The Gnomish Liquid Transfer Apparatus. It's an offhand, already a hard sell. I will say, it's priced adequately at 75 tenders, but it's literally just a bucket. I'm gonna give it a boot.
I mean, like, I posted this as well in the Discord. I'm like, what the fuck is this little guy? I guess it's called Gnomish. It might look appropriately sized, equipped on a gnome. I think it is the silliest fucking thing we've ever seen. I'm going to give it a moot just because I think it's unique. And maybe you could have like some interesting mog opportunities if you like have like if you're going for like a gardener look or something and have like some other like trowel or something in your other hand. I don't fucking know. This is weird, but like I'm not going to boot it just because it's weird though.
As a man who owns a lot of garden tools as mains and offhands, I feel like I gotta add the Gnomish Liquid Transfer Apparatus to my thing. That is a toot for me. A cheap 75 just to get a little shitty bucket. Let's go.
I'm just offended. I'm honestly offended that it's called a Gnomish Liquid Transfer Apparatus. There's no moving gears on it. It's just a bucket. Like, what makes it gnomish? Like they could have put one gear or Gnomergon symbol on it, and they did nothing.
Just the joke that like they're always going for innovation, so sometimes they go around and make the same thing again. I don't know. Like they should have given this to us for free. They were just like, we were just testing the waters for a big goof 'em up.
What do you think those two big screws do that are in the hull of the bucket? Like, what are those? Is that the fun joke part?
Listen, it's fashion, baby.
Moving on, we have the Great Cloak of the Virtuous Protector. Apparently, it's a longer version of a Paladin Tier 19 cloak. Tenders cost 50. I'm going to give it a moot. I don't really care. The colors don't make any sense to me. Why is it red on the bottom, purple and yellow on top? But it's cheap enough that literally who doesn't have 50 tendies? So it's like, whatever.
I'm fucking giving this a boot.
I already have this thing. I already have this thing.
I don't care about it. I think it's ugly as fuck. I don't want this.
You want the fucking bucket. You want the nasty looking bucket with a wooden handle. You make no sense.
I don't have a bucket. I literally have this thing. Probably not, because apparently it's Paladin tier, but I have something from like Legion or early BFA that is almost the exact same. I don't care about this thing.
Listen, the bucket is stupid. This is ugly and stupid.
The bucket is also ugly. In what world is the bucket not ugly?
I think it's odd enough that it transcends that a bit.
All right, well, moving on. The fabulously flashy finery. A short transmog from Dalaran itself. 50 gold, 50 tendies, new model. I'm gonna give it a 2. Its short colors are now appreciated now that we can transform them separately from everything else. You have those shirts on. It's a brand new thing we haven't had before. You get the right pair of pants for this. You're gonna be looking best bakers, classy.
Exactly. I also give it a 2 just because like I feel like it's rare that we get like new shirt transmog and it's cheap. Like why not 2?
Yeah. I really, like, I should moot it, but for 50 a shirt, we haven't had a new shirt since, like, Kata, sure, toot.
And finally, we have the Pandaren Monk Battle Pet, who has been on sale for $5 for most of our WoW career, coming in at 650 tendies. Aaron's brother. I'm going to give it a moot. Because maybe if you didn't want to spend money on it, you can spend your tendies, and now you can finally have your karate-kicking panda.
This is the one that gives you beer, right?
No, all this thing does is yell. It screams, but also, I'm going to give it a toot. Everyone needs to experience this thing screaming next to them as you just walk around the world.
Punches too, right?
Yeah, it practices kung fu and goes like, wah, 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 as you're just standing there.
I mean, I think I'm going to give it a moot. I'm not going to buy it, but like, I mean, I guess it's nice that they're including a pet in here.
Adam deserves the win.
But yeah, there we go. There we have it. That's our fucking review for this month. We'll see what next month brings us. I feel like a lot more toots than usual. Would you guys agree, than like before?
Yeah, there was, a lot of toots and moots. There was less things that I distinctly hated here.
I agree. I think overall it was a pretty solid batch of things here. What did you guys freeze last month, and did you buy it, or are you just gonna freeze it again? Because I froze the Fire Lord's like flail, and I'm like, it's still 750, and I don't know if I'm gonna like buy it now or just freeze it again. I don't know. I guess I'll just need to see how many tendies I have after I buy everything I want this month.
I think I'm gonna freeze it, and only because I'm gonna freeze it again, only because I like unique weapon transmogs, and flails are very, very rare. There's like the flail from the warrior mage tower, which you can't do anymore, which I have. There's a couple of flails that they've added since then, and then there's this flail. So like, I'm still like, oh, the cool flails are limited, so maybe I'll hang on to it.
Yeah, like, I'm getting more and more into Booty ATW as, like, a character. So it's like, I'm sure one of these days I will be like, I gotta get a cool flail for her. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna freeze it till next month as well. There's nothing on here that if I miss out on it, I'll feel really sad. So I guess just holding that off until maybe April will have something cooler.
I'm glad that you clarified you're into her not as anything else other than a character.
You want to talk about motion of the ocean? I was born on a turtle, baby.
Also, I have really bad news for you, Immune. Really bad news. The BM Hunter changes have been nerfed.
Wait, as of when? Like right now?
15 minutes ago. Blizzard has announced an update to the Hunter changes coming in patch 10.0.7, reducing some of the compensation buffs coming to BM Hunter. Blizzard, here's a post. It reads, after some discussion and monitoring feedback on these changes, there are a few adjustments being made for the next PTR build for BM Hunters. Kill command damage will be increased by 10%, down from 25%. Barb shot damage will be increased by 12%, down from 25%. Kill cleave talent will now transfer 60% of kill command's damage, up from 50%. So overall, a nerf, basically.
Well, okay, so this is an AoE buff, kind of, with the kill cleave thing, but otherwise, just like, fuck them. Like, this is just slap in the face of all the hunters like me that have been, like, vastly unlucky with getting the bow that we've needed to be competitive.
Now, there are some people saying in the comments, is this true? Is BM the strongest single target spec in the game?
Well, our buddy fucking Dratnos or whatever said that, so take that as you will.
Oh, so then fuck no. So he's fucking lying because they don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I mean, it does have pretty good single target if you do a single target build. I don't know about the validity of that assessment though.
Well, yeah. Well, either way, so the bow will still be valuable. I guess now the bow's gonna, because now that changes the percentage values of what's good and what's bad, right? So hey, you can still get the bow and use it, I guess. Now it's time for our top two, bottom boot, medium mood. Aaron, what you got for us this week?
Well, this week I have myself a top two.
Two.
Over the weekend, the DNRmy invited me to their Mythic Pluses. And I finally kicked it into gear and actually started doing some mythics.
Whoop whoop.
I did a couple with Mitch and Jamonkey and Suley, as well as my co-host and some other Uno Mas members. And I managed to actually increase my score all the way to like 1,500, I think.
Yeah, you got the title, right?
Yeah, I'm the Thundering now. So hopefully I can keep kicking booty and going so I can go get my big blue rhino man and be like, oh, I don't know about you, guy. And then not use him.
He's cool.
He is pretty cool. I just won't use him because he's a ground mount. And why use a ground mount when you can use your own spindly hands and feet?
Yeah, because like I don't know what it was about those dungeons, but I feel like whenever like Growlina was running wild, it felt faster than any of our mounts. But on paper it isn't, right?
Are you sure that like there's not a talent you have that makes your mountain speed faster?
No. There is nothing beneficial to running wild. I think they want to take it out of the game. And yet it is in
they're coming for our
fact
guns
faster.
and our running wild.
That's why we gotta go fast. We gotta outrun the fucking liberals who are coming to steal our... The government wants to sell you griffins. They're tired of self-sufficient people like me running on their hands and feet. But it was pretty neat. And in the end, I got some trinkets. And I think at the end, I upgraded my cape.
Hell yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Well, I mean, like, any upgrade is good for our general raid progress, so I'm glad everyone was able to get, like, something from that.
But Slide Whistle, what is your TT
I've got a big,
BBMM?
fat, honking, throbbing top toot this week.
Ooh, throbbing toot.
Toot. I've been raiding on my boy Kylie's for a while, doing a heroic raid, and doing a survival hunter, which is rare. There's still like 1,000 of us doing it or whatever. But finally, after 3-ish weeks of heroic raiding, I'm finally epic. I opened my vault this week, and I got a Aeronog ring, and I put it on, and it was like, epic. Every item in your slot is epic. And I was like, are you shitting me? I've been raiding for this long without that happening yet on this guy? Jesus Christ.
That's just the one where everything's purple, right?
Yeah, I was wearing a 350 ring for most of that proc. I don't know. It just feels good. Survival Hunter damage actually just feels pretty okay. Like, obviously, like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not playing it optimally. I'm just playing it for fun, for a little break from Evoker constantly in raid, which is honestly numbing my brain. Like, it's mush by this point. So it's nice to have something different, wildly different. And finally get it epicized. What about you, Amin? What's your top two, bottom boot, medium moot?
Well, it was going to be a medium mood about the whole Razagath bow things, but now I think after the revelations that just hit while we were recording, it's a bottom boot because, like, why the fuck is Blizzard doing this to me in particular, Ian? This is targeted at immunization. I know it.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. We know Ian listens because we didn't even mention this shit, but they added, Pet Battle Week had World Quest Week added. So Ian is listening. Why is he fucking sidestepping this punter bow shit talk, huh?
Okay, speaking of sidestepping, I will add this as an adjacent top toot. They fucking did it. We've been calling for this shit probably on and off for, like, literally 3 years on this podcast, right, boys? Like,
there's definitely an argument to be made. We are 100% sure the longest running podcast to be calling for this specific buff to Pet Battle Week, and we got it today, or this week.
Yeah, so as Slide Whistle alluded, they still have the weekly for pet battling, but there's 2 weeklies on the guy now. There's a pet battle one and a world quest one. So, like, it's just not just completely lost for people who do not pet battle.
They've seen the numbers. They know no one's doing that shit.
I mean, somebody's got to be doing it or else they wouldn't keep including it. So this doesn't impact them. It just is only good for everyone else who doesn't pet battle. But yeah, so just back to my bottom boot, like, Ian, come on, why you gotta play with me like this? I was happy that you were giving me big buffs because I have been so unlucky because you haven't buffed the drop of this bow that I'll never fucking get. But, you know, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I'll get the bow eventually. Maybe. Who fucking knows?
I'm telling you, after 4 weeks, you'll get it.
Like 4 additional weeks?
4 weeks.
That's all it is 4 weeks. 4 weeks when you started, 4 weeks from now, doesn't matter. 4 weeks.
I did the statistic checks here. I looked up, like, my kills. Heroic, I've killed Razagath twice on Heroic on my Hunter. Hugging it is hard, especially since our guild hasn't been able to down it yet. So 2 Heroic kills. I believe 9 normal kills, and either 4 or 5 LFR kills. And in all of those ones, there's so many Hunters in all of them. Only our guild's very first normal kill did a 1 Razagath bow drop. That is still the only bow I've seen drop on any of those runs that I've seen. So what is that? 16 Razagath kills or something like that?
That's insane. It's so stupid. All those hunters holding their hands up. Please, sir, may I have 1? The first one. And like, no.
Yeah, so bottom boot.
Speaking of holding our hands out, we've been holding our hands out, and they've been filled with toppings from so many generous people. They include Command Sergeant Major Tijurla, fourth host of the podcaster Monkey, Ahoy Vince, Ensling / Drag Race, Azarin, Digital Dave, Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child, Crucifix, Cardicay, Saracen Hawk, Sasha Send Soup, Big Fat Ugly Bug-Faced Baby Eating Adorno says, I. Baby Gersh, Myth Gersh, Big Bear 13, Muv, Adam N, Ickis, Vanderlyle, Generational Talent, Smurf, the Base God, Slide Whistle says,
Fuck Craig.
and Will, aka Tire, Trade Chat's Fallen Father.
If you have any comments, questions, complaints, if you want to send Aaron a picture of the inside of your intestine, send it to donotrelenttpod@gmail.com or tweet at us on the Twitter at donotrelenttpod. You can also join the Discord, which you said several times, at donotrelentt.com. I paid for the fucking website. You better use it. What about you guys? Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex. You can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter.com. Read the show's literary musings at DoNotRelent.livejournal.com. I just wrote one today about fucking something. I can't even remember, but I wrote it. And you can watch me play videograms at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. But none for you this weekend. I'm going to my in-laws' house, and I can't stream from there.
What the hell? How are we going to play Overwatch together now if you can't stream it?
Well, I'll play Overwatch, and I'll just stream it on the Do Not Relent Discord, and it will be like watching your favorite slideshow. It'll be so terrible.
Yeah, how are you not going to be able to dox us this weekend?
We had some great games, though.
Terrible.
We had some really good ones that one.
We had some really good games, and then we had 2 bad games, and you said, bye. You closed your computer, and you can see me on stream go, and they both left. Anyways, bye.
Oh, I can only handle so many Overwatch in a day before my head explodes.
That's more than fair.
All right, but you know what that means? You hear that sound in the distance? That means we're out of here, and we're finished recording. So you know what that means?
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.